Why don't you reach your arms up a little bit, get moving out to the side. I know you've been sitting for a while. I'm a personal trainer on the side, so I like to do that. We can invite Michelle up here. She can teach us some salsa moves, maybe. Go ahead and get the hips moving. Yeah, y'all like, we're in church. No hips moving. All right, you guys go ahead and sit down. Thank you, Gabe, for that introduction. Can you go ahead and give Gabe a round of applause, please? It is tough to MC an event sometimes, and he's doing a really awesome job. Well, like you said, everybody, I'm Isis Smalls, and I am a co-leader with the business ministry, but I was in your seats just about a year and a half ago. God called me to resign from my job of teaching, and it was a complete step of faith. I had no idea what in the world he wanted me to do. All I know was that I had these words in my heart: go reach young women. That's it. So with those words, I stepped out and by faith began my own journey into entrepreneurship. It has been an incredibly rocky road, but I can tell you one thing that has been beneficial for me is to have people like you in my network. If I did not have you all out there to catch me, I would have fallen a long time ago, and I wouldn't have been able to pursue my passion. So I want to talk to you today about networking, but let's be honest, and let me know if I'm the only one, because I could be the only one. When you hear the word networking, does anyone sometimes roll their eyes? Am I the only? Can you raise your hand if don't leave me hanging? I'm just like, ugh. Because I get this picture of people coming around and forcing business cards right in your face. And what's your name? And what do you do? And hi, I'm Isis. And it's like sometimes when you're talking to them, they just can't wait for you to shut up quick enough so they can tell you about themselves. So when I hear the word networking sometimes, to be honest, that's how I felt. But I just want to let you know that there is a way that networking can be organic. There's a way that networking can just flow in your everyday life. It doesn't have to be overbearing. It doesn't have to be forceful. And it sure enough doesn't have to be awkward. Okay? Networking can come naturally. So I want to go ahead and talk to you today. The topic that I have for you today is networking redefined. 7 ways to nurture, expand, and ignite your sphere of influence. Because that's what networking is. It's a sphere of influence. I want us to take the chains off of networking. Let's redefine networking from the whole forceful giving you my business card thing to just what it is. Networking is building relationships. That's it. At the end of the day, if you know how to build a relationship, you know how to network. In fact, Michelle pointed this out earlier today, and I want to show you a really awesome time that I had networking. This right here is networking. It's about a minute long. Go ahead and take a look. You guys like my feet just sticking up there in the air? This looks pretty cool, right? Hopefully it plays. Let's see. You think it's going to play, Patrick? No? Okay. So what I wanted to show you with you guys to see, this is actually a form of networking. I am actually on my feet, on my hands, with my feet in the air, but what you would have seen on this video is I'm doing push-ups with my feet in the air. And I'm in a room full of women who I have no clue who they are. I know about 2 of them. This was at Bayou City Bungee, which Michelle mentioned earlier, which is the bungee fitness place. So you'll see, you can't really see here, but I have a harness around me, and I'm in a room full of about 9 to 10 women. Michelle invited me last week, and I don't know about you, but I'm kind of a little bit of a workaholic, just a little bit. So she texted me maybe a Wednesday, and she was like, hey, Isis, I would love for you to come to my birthday and just meet some new women and come celebrate with me. And I don't know about you, but I started texting back my normal excuse, which is something like, oh, you know what, I would really love to go, but I have a lot of work to do. I literally had the text, and I was going to punch in, and I just felt something say, oh, stop. You're always going to have work to do. Go, fellowship, have community. So I ended up driving about an hour away into Sienna Plantation area, and I had the time of my life. Sitting there with my feet in the air, doing push-ups with a harness, and there's another video with us doing almost a Superman in the air, and I'm literally 5 feet off the ground, flying. That was the best networking experience I've ever had. So much fun. I'm like, sign me up anytime. If anyone wants to work out, period, I love that. We can go work out. That's networking. But what I want to show you is that networking can be at a birthday party. with the people around you. And I'm in a room celebrating with Michelle, who I know, Ime, who I know, but there's 9 other women that I got to meet for the first time that night. And then here we are, Megan's here today. Michelle gave her a shout out from the stage. She's doing great business, and this was just from a birthday party. So networking can be organic. It doesn't have to involve a business card all the time. All right, next slide, please. So what I want to let you know is that I also have a free resource for you. You'll get that this afternoon. Mine will not automatically shoot back to you. But if you text SMALLS to 444-999, I'm going to include a guide that's 5 inspiring ways to share your story on social media. Now, this presentation is not about social media, but about a couple of months ago, I gave an entire presentation on social media. And so these are some of the 5 best takeaways that you can get in order to market yourself and to network on social media. So if you would like to take advantage of that resource, I'll have a slide up at the end as well. You can do that today. Next slide, please. All right, so the first thing I want to challenge you to do is to reevaluate your daily environments. Everyone say reevaluate. Reevaluate, because think about this. How many of y'all went to Starbucks this morning? Starbucks, who stopped and get coffee? Raise your hand high, don't be, you little coffee addicts. Don't be ashamed. Okay, now how many of you actually talked to the barista and had a conversation? And I see no hands up, right? And even if you're going to the drive-thru, it might be a little different. But my point is that we have places that we frequent all the time. We go in and out to these coffee shops. We go to the same grocery stores. We go to church. And sometimes we can leave these places and not even talk to the people to our left and our right. How many of y'all are guilty of this, where you go to church and you put your purse down on the left and the right and ain't nobody even coming? You save seats. You save seats because you want room. But that is a person you're not networking with. Those 2 people who would have sat next to you are 2 opportunities that you have already lost. So we need to think about how we can engage in networking with people right in our very environments. I want to give you an example of this. This picture right here is from a coffee shop out in Humboldt, Texas, where I live. And it's Java Man Coffee Shop, one of my favorite shops. I've been going there for probably about 5 years. And the owner, Mark, is one of those guys where you come in, you cannot leave without him knowing your name. He's going to make sure he knows your name. And he does that with every customer that steps in. Well, one day, Mark, I walked into his building, into the coffee shop to get a cup, and he was like, Isis, I saw a video you posted on Facebook. I didn't know you sing the anthem. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I sing the anthem at the time I was performing, for sports teams or schools. And he was like, well, why don't you consider singing for the Rockets? I was like, consider? Yeah, I'll sing for the Rockets, yeah. Sign me up. Like, when can I do it, right? So he, within 24 hours, sends an email to the Rockets who he used to work for. Sends an email, sends my video in, and within 24 hours, I was booked to sing. So that was something I had dreamed about, singing for the Houston Rockets, singing the national anthem for them. And here I am, walking in and out the same coffee shop every day, and my connection was right there. I am wondering today, how many connections, how many opportunities are we missing because we're not engaging with the people right next to us? What opportunities are you dreaming of and you actually have the connection right there? So let's reevaluate our daily environments and choose to be present with them. Now, what you'll see is that one connection in your life may be a door to numerous opportunities. So as I said, I sang for the Rockets, which is on the left, but that opened up opportunities for me to sing for the Astros twice and for professional tennis, the ATP World Tour 5 times. One connection leading to many opportunities. So introverts, people that like to be on their phone all day and act like you don't see the person in front of you, start talking. One door may lead to numerous opportunities. The second point that I have for you is to serve your way to success. I don't know about you, but one thing I can't stand is people who try to reap from soil they haven't planted in yet. You cannot reap from soil you haven't planted in yet. So what I want to encourage you to do is think about opportunities for you to serve. You can serve in the church. That's a great place. In fact, right in this very business ministry, we have opportunities to serve. But right from this community right here, I'm not sure if JR is still around, but my friend JR in the back, go ahead and wave, JR, let them see you. So JR and I have been on the ministry team, or at least I've known him for about a year now, and I have never once sent him a business card, But the other month, he was at a networking event, I believe back in May, and he ran into a young woman who wanted to have her own women's conference. Well, who does he think about when we think about women speakers? He said, well, I have a woman you need to meet. What are you doing tonight at 6:30? So JR invites this young lady to hear me speak at the women's ministry. The very next day, I was booked to speak at her conference. Thank you, JR. Does JR host a women's conference? Nope. But he met someone who did. So when you connect with people, you are enlarging your territory. As we always say, right? We pray about that. God, enlarge my territory. But I don't want to talk to anybody at Starbucks. God, make me have more connections. Send the right people. But I don't want to talk to anybody at church. Well, how does that work? No, when you do life with people, then you begin to get opportunities. So I want to encourage you to serve at church, and then I also want to encourage you to serve in your community. We got to get out our circles, especially if we're thinking about doing kingdom business. It doesn't just mean you just work with Christians. People of faith, we got to get out in the world and infiltrate. We got to get out in the world and infiltrate. Okay. Y'all acting kind of quiet, I don't know. So one of the stories that I have for you from serving in the community is for neighborhood centers. And when I was about a couple of years ago, I loved coaching volleyball. I played volleyball in college. Any volleyball players in the house? Yes, that is my heart. And I played for a couple of years in college, did well there, and I decided I wanted to coach some girls in the community. So I coached them for about 6 weeks over the summer. About a couple of months later, I was crowned Miss Houston, and I needed to have a community event. And because I love sports, and I figured, well, okay, let me combine my love for volleyball and this awesome opportunity to reach young women. So I combined them together, and I decided I want to have a citywide event where I could coach girls in volleyball, kind of groom them, teach them character through sports, build their self-confidence on the court. So this is how I want to do it. So I needed a facility. Well, who did I call? I called the community center where I taught the girls volleyball. They said, sure, you can have our facility for free. That day we had the outdoor facility, we had the indoor facility, and we had an entire cafeteria opened up to 50 girls from the city, from a connection that happened for me volunteering as a volleyball coach the summer before. So you want to get out and serve. When you serve, you're positioning yourself to meet more people. And then here's the thing. I don't want you to think, okay, well, let me go out and serve and figure out where I can get something from. That's precisely not it. That is precisely, like, I am failing you if that's what you're thinking right now. The biblical principle is you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. When we begin to till God's soil, no matter whether it is in church or outside of the community, God's going to bless us. God takes care of the people that take care of him. And when we give, we can't outgive God. Proverbs 11:25 says that those who refresh will themselves be refreshed. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and start refreshing. Next slide, please. Number 3 is social media. And as I said before, I'm not going to go in depth on this, but I have to touch on it. I hope I don't step on any toes, but I'm going to do it in love if I do. Social media has everything to do with our professional brand. As much as we would like to think that Facebook isn't a professional network like LinkedIn, it is. Because the same people that are on LinkedIn are on Facebook. Who's on both? Hello? So what difference does it make if I see you on LinkedIn versus coming in to your personal page? So I just want to encourage you to think about this. People want to connect with people of strength. And the things that we post on our Facebook page, they affect the perception that people have of us, whether we're people of strength. If I'm telling you I am here to empower women, right? Thank you, Rita. Okay. If I'm telling you I am here to empower women, but Tracy goes on my Facebook page and I don't look empowered, I'm telling the whole world about my problems. I'm telling them how I am so insecure. You're going to be like, wait, so you do what again? Our personal brands have to have an opportunity to boost our professional brand. They are connected. They are not disconnected in the least. So what you post on your personal pages, use it to your advantage. If you're on my social media page, my personal page, I pretty much use it as a business page. I will tell you where I'm at. I will take a picture with the girls that I'm with. And those people begin to recognize, oh, when I think of ISIS, I think of young women. Or here's ISIS, I think speaker. And that's just on my personal page. So be mindful of how the two are definitely connected. Next slide, please. Oh, this is a big one. Follow up and follow through. Follow up and follow through. There's nothing worse than helping out someone who doesn't follow through with the help that you gave them, right? So let's talk about some things that we want to keep in mind. Next slide. Okay. Some thoughts to consider. One of the quickest ways to sour a connection is to be needy. Okay, can I say it again? Don't be a needy networker. Everyone repeat after me. I will not be a needy networker. There is nothing worse. So can you kind of picture this with me? Think about a mother who's waiting in line to check out at the grocery store. And the kid spots a chocolate bar on the side. And he sees that chocolate bar, and he sees mom, but mom is busy talking to a friend, trying to check out. Well, he starts tugging on mom. One tug, and she might say, oh, just stop, Johnny, just stop. Next thing you know, she tugs again. Oh, stop, just wait 1 minute, I'll get to you. And then he hears, tug it again. What is that mom going to do? Eventually, she's going to explode. Johnny, what did I just tell you? Right? When we tug on people and we constantly ask, it is the same way. So I want you to consider some things. When was the last time I asked that person for help? Did I follow up with what they previously gave me? Sometimes I give people advice. Maybe it's to write a book or whatever. And we all get busy. We all have excuses for not following through. But if someone took time to give you detailed instructions and detailed advice, the worst thing you can do is to follow up with them without having followed through on your part first. So, did you follow through the first time? Is this a big favor or just a tiny favor? Because you don't want to keep asking big favors. It's going to get old real quick. And then lastly, this is a big one. Do I truly have a relationship with them? You all know those people. Come on now. You all know those people who just magically think of your name when they need you. Or they magically remember your number when they need something. So we don't want to be those people. Next slide, please. So in addition to avoiding needy networking, we want to be sure that we follow up within 24 hours. 48 is like a max, but preferably 24 hours while the connection is hot and fresh. I am big on this, adding a personal touch. No one wants to feel like they're used, and they want to feel like they're actually special to you. So one thing that I might say is I met Tracy today, so if I email Tracy, I might say, Tracy, first of all, I loved your dress. Your hair was so cute. It was great to meet you at the Lakewood Business event this past Saturday. You told me that you were going to connect me to someone who could dye my hair. Notice I included a specific action item. So that way when Tracy gets back to her salon on Monday, she knows, oh, it was Isis from the Lakewood Business event who thought my dress was cute. And she needs help dyeing her hair. So you want to include action items that are specific to jog their memory, include a personal touch, and then when they have helped you. This is I think one of the biggest ways to differentiate yourself. When someone has helped you, say thank you. And one of the biggest things, virtual notes are great, but handwritten notes are best. That means someone took time to maybe even get your mailing address, to think about what they wrote, and actually pin it and send it to you. That is a game changer. I love sending thank you notes. And it gives you also an opportunity for when they get it to then connect with you again. So think about it, organic networking. This is something that I like to think about as well, is to stay top of mind. It's easy to make connections, but it's another thing to groom them. So you want to think about ways that you can groom them. One thing I like to do is to send articles. So if I know that someone is in the real estate industry, maybe I found an article that relates to their industry, I might send that to them. But here's the thing. Maybe read through the article, like actually read it, don't just send anything. Maybe read through the article, give them a quick synopsis. Hey, I found this on real estate. There seems to be a big boom in the Houston Heights area. And send them. That's a great way. Another great way is to share events and then go with them. Share a great event and go with them. So maybe some of you were brought here by a friend. Hey, I heard about Lakewood Church Business Ministry. They're having a meeting this Saturday. Why don't you come with me? Share an event is another great reason to have just another point of contact. A quick text. I often send, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm playing you. If I reach out to you, it's really because I care. But sometimes I will also intentionally send a thinking of you text. I haven't talked to this person in a while, but they popped up on my mind. You know how it is. You go throughout your day and people come back to your memory. Maybe someone came back to your memory today. Text them. It's just a way to say, hey, I see you. We're not talking every day, but I know you're there. Let's just stay in contact. And then the last one is to inform them of relevant opportunities. I have a friend who I think is just absolutely amazing. I think she's going to be part of the UN. She's young. She has a doctorate. She's just such a world changer. And I got an email in my box that talked about opportunities to serve in Rwanda. And I was like, ooh, global. That I see her as someone who's global. So I emailed that opportunity to her. Turns out she already had it, and she had looked at it, but it made her understand I think of her that way. And I think you're so awesome. I want to make sure you get these opportunities. Again, you're serving. You're planting seeds in soil, right? Thank you. Next slide. Number 6 is steward your time and energy and your money. Here's a big one. You don't have to be everything to everybody. You don't have to go to lunch with everybody. And you do not have to do coffee with everybody. You want to be mindful of how you spend your time, your energy, and your money. Because I'm telling you, if you do lunch with everybody, you will be broke quick. There will not be any time to do business. There won't be any funds left. Okay? So you don't feel obligated to do lunch. Sometimes coffee is a better alternative. It's something I am absolutely falling in love with is 20-minute calls. Oh my gosh. I get like a high off of them now. Just instead of saying, you know what, maybe you just have a couple of quick questions, let's jump on a call real quick. I can stay at home. I don't have to do my makeup to go see you. I don't have to spend gas money to go see you. I love you, but I'm at home in my pajamas giving you advice. That's how I like it. So sometimes it's okay just to jump on a call real quick and make a connection that way. Something else that's really good to know is to be a good steward of not only your time, but their time. When you are with someone of value, you want to make sure that you knock it out of the park. Do not show up at a lunch meeting or a coffee meeting without having a list of questions already ready. You don't have to be so awkward as to have them written down maybe, but you can, or just at least be ready to go. Especially if they're like 20-minute calls. Do not ask someone questions that anyone can answer. So for example, if I am say if I have a meeting, a really great meeting with Pastor Joel, okay? It would be an incredibly awful waste of time for me to say, Pastor Joel, I know that you're a pastor of this great big church. How many members are at Lakewood? Drop the mic, walk out. Just cancel the appointment. What an incredible waste of time to have someone with that much experience, with that much influence, and ask him something I could have Googled 5 minutes before. When you are with someone, ask them questions that only they can answer. Questions that are unique and special to them. Questions you can't get answered from anywhere else. And save all the Google stuff for later. That's on your time. But when you're with them, make it count. The other thing is choosing your energy, saving your energy. Be mindful of your energy. Not every season is a networking season. Dare I say it? Maybe it could be heavier in some seasons, more seasons than others. But if you're in a point where you're just building your business, maybe instead of networking every single night, some nights you should be more so focused on building the business. And then when you get placed to have something to actually show people, then that's when you can showcase yourself. So just be mindful of, protecting your energy. It's invaluable. And we want to do business with people who are lively, energetic, and they have energy to actually engage with us. All right, next slide. The final thing that I'm going to say is to remember that God is your network. I think that's the thing that irritates me the most, is when I feel like we become so dependent on networking that it's as if we think people are in control of our destiny. God is in all of our networks. And I can tell you, he has an incredible way of connecting you to people. I have ran into people have called my phone in the last 3 weeks that I didn't even know knew my name. I've run into people out at coffee shops, had nothing to even do with the environment I thought we would have met in, and he's connecting me there. So at the end of the day, God is your network. Next slide. What I want you to remember is that when God is in your efforts, you will be blessed. I think about I believe it's John chapter 6, when the disciples they're casting their nets and they're fishing. And Peter is like, God tells them to cast their nets one more time, or to cast their nets, and Simon's like, God, like, Jesus, we've been fishing all night. There is nothing going to come in this doggone net. Like, for real, Jesus, right now, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I just want the fish to be here. And Jesus says, cast the net. So they cast it, and here comes an abundance of fish. They didn't have so much they couldn't even handle it. And I believe that's what happens when we put God first. When we invite him into our efforts and we start trying to go out on our own. When we allow God into our efforts, he can bless them and multiply them. Okay? So in conclusion here, I just want to encourage you to remember that networking can be organic. It doesn't have to be forced. We have opportunities on a daily basis to network. And if we begin to till other people's soil and plant seeds, then God will take care of us. Amen? Amen. So I just want to encourage you to sign up for the email list where you'll get your free guide this afternoon, and then I will meet you all in the lobby. Thank you.